Did you really think that CES would get off that easy? Oh, I'm not done. In fact, we're just getting started, and I know there's been much wailing and gnashing of teeth over the 31-inch 4K OLED video I made recently because I need it, and it looks like it'll be a wait until we can get our slimy hands all over it, but not all is lost, my friends. In fact, a new foe has appeared that, dare I say, could be the best monitor ever created so far. The monitor in question is a brand new display created by Samsung, and I'll be honest, when I first heard of it, I wasn't all that interested, but after putting my print on it at CES, my mind has been changed. That's right, we're talking about the Samsung OLED G9, which is a 5120 by 1440 240Hz glossy quantum dot OLED display, and as you can tell by those specs, yes, this will likely be the absolute best monitor you can buy, at least for a little bit, since there are so many OLEDs launching and some that we haven't even heard about yet. But before you start rushing to the store in hand demanding to buy one, let's break down exactly why this is likely the display gamers should be waiting for. So recently I made a review on the 27-inch 240Hz OLED from LG, and despite talk that it may be using LG's latest MLA panels, which promise to be up to 70% brighter, I actually found it to be the dimmest display I've tested yet. And while it does have decent HDR peak brightness, and it was also the fastest display I've ever tested, it had a god-awful semi-matte finish which looked like you wiped your cheeks across the LG C2 after dumping a fat load, and for some reason LG seems to believe gamers prefer a matte finish. So if you would like them to create a glossy panel, please let them know in the comments below and why. But this is where I believe the OLED G9 will for most be a much better option. Since it's quantum dot OLED, we can expect eye-searing brightness that will absolutely smash the LG panel, and with a glossy finish you'll also get a far more clear and vibrant picture. But I know what you're thinking right now. Wait a minute, don't we already have a monitor like this with the Alienware quantum dot OLED? And to that I say no. Sure, it shares a similar panel, but there are a number of reasons as to why I ultimately chose not to keep the Alienware. 1. It has buggy firmware which for some reason made the HDR 400 mode much brighter than HDR 1000, leading to many people running the display suboptimally. 2. While it is a higher frame rate than the LG C2, 175Hz is a significant step down from 240Hz, which I consider to be the sweet spot for competitive gaming. And 3. Color fringing made it very difficult to use for work-related tasks. Now, we don't know for sure yet if the LG OLED G9 will be using the same year-old technology as the Alienware, which has color fringing, but if they do choose to use their new panel tech, then in theory the color fringing could be solved, as I believe Samsung did want to fix that issue. Now, the only issue I think some will have is that with a resolution of 5120 by 1440, this will be a 49-inch 32 by 9 display, so it's definitely not your typical resolution, and there will certainly be some games that don't know what the hell to do with that wide of an FOV. But of course, with it being an OLED, you can always just disable parts of the screen if compatibility is an issue. But speaking of issues, let's talk about your let's talk about the price, because here's where you're gonna start vomiting uncontrollably. Now, with a 240Hz OLED of this size, it ain't gonna be cheap. In fact, I'm expecting somewhere around $2,000 for this display in a release date sometime in the first half of 2023. Yikes. Whether you're looking to connect a new console, gaming PC, or just need a fast and reliable HDMI cable to connect over long distances, Rupro has you covered with their Rupro 8K HDMI 2.1 fiber optic cable, available in sizes ranging from 3 to 165 feet, and can deliver a perfect full 48 gigabits per second connection over distances other cables could only dream of reaching. And with 48 gigabits per second of bandwidth, it can easily drive 8K at 60 FPS or 4K at 120 FPS HDR10 video through its ultra-thin, flexible, and durable housing, and it even supports eARC. So if you're in the market for a cable that can drive a beautiful new TV or monitor, be sure to check out Rupro on Amazon today.